Welcome back to the Ginge Treasure. I am giving a second attempt at what I was trying to accomplish on the live yesterday. I'm not even sure if this is working right now. I'm not even sure if anything is being recorded or if it's being directly live. So if I'm just talking and to no purpose, that's kind of funny, but hey, at least I get my practice in. Usually I like to riff and just get everything raw. Hardly anything of mine is scripted, although that could change in the future depending on, as I document the trial and errors, what works, what doesn't work. If it's a script I need to come up with, even if it's my own, coming from me, it's not something synthesized or uh, not scripted in a bad way, like say politicians are, if you know what I mean. It's just me. There's no hidden agenda, I suppose, behind the script. Um, Anyways, with that said, what I wanted to do and accomplish with the failure that was launched yesterday was to set up a stream where I can do a screen share. And so this is kind of like the continuation of that, where I have succeeded in getting a screen share, as you can see. And what I did, by the way, shout out to Guide Realm, because basically what it boiled down to is I YouTubed a video for how to figure out how to do this for YouTube. And so Guide Realm showed me that what you can do is download some free software. So a little sketchy because I don't know much about that, but I'm pretty naive in, well, somewhat educated, somewhat naive on downloading software from the internet. So what I did is downloaded OBS, and that's the screen that we're looking at here. And it's pretty cool because it allows me to directly connect to YouTube Studio. So I don't even have to I don't have to like pre-record this and then bring it over to my YouTube studio and then, create and then yada, yada, yada. What I was able to do is just, or what it does is link directly from this software app that was downloaded. And now I can get to the point where I show you this is what I did after my recording yesterday. And so what had happened was I pulled into the parking lot, pulled out my iPhone, started recording off of Voice Memos, which is a free app that comes with the iPhone. It's like pre-installed, um, courtesy of Apple. And so I just did a recording of myself talking, and that was the stream. Well, not, it wasn't a stream, it was a pre-recording, and that's the sound that I used to create a YouTube video. The intention was to just have the audio recording, and I thought that YouTube podcast, because YouTube has this podcast option, so my assumption was that it was like a Spotify podcast where it was just audio, but it turns out you need to include video, which is fine because what ended up happening, and it worked out really well, is when I went on the voice memo app on my phone, I saw that I actually had like a already pre-recorded um, note or message, and I played it, and it was from a time back. Once again, shout out to Ruti Cello. It was just a live recording of her playing her cello for like a live audience, and I had like recorded it on my phone, which I probably should have got. I think I had permission to do that, but I probably should have in advance talked to her before using that sample on my channel. But I mean, these are people that I know personally, and I don't feel really any ill. Although I reached out to her afterward, and we'll see what she says. Anyways, what I did is, so here I'll give you a sample of that recording. And what I did is so I have her recording is right here, and it's also this new recording right here. And then my recordings, my audio is this one, and this one. There's like the original right here, which is just new recording 4. And then the original for Ruti, which is this one here. And then I say that this one is also the cello because what I did is I put them both, they're both the same audio, but one I added some effects because what I did here, what we're looking at is Logic Pro, which is some hardware. I got Logic Pro and then Final Cut Pro. These are 2 options when I purchased my MacBook from Apple. To have, I paid a little bit extra. I think it was like $1,000 total for these 2 options to be pre-included as hardware that's installed in my MacBook. So I bit the bullet and invested in that with the intention of ultimately doing what I'm doing right now, in a sense, and just playing with the sound. And then also, so I have 3 of my own voices, and I've like tinkered with the sound. So one is just the pure, unaltered audio recording, and then I have a classic vocal and a vintage voice. So I'll give you a little example. So these are the 2 unmuted for cello. And you can see what I did is like I played with them around here. So these yellow lines, they represent the volume. So it's like I started off with more of the original sound, and then I have this echo kind of like creeping in just as this one drops off, and that's why it looks like almost like an arrow. If you include there, it's like an arrow pointing this way, and then it widens just as this one quiets. Then I bring the original back just as this one kind of mellows out. And so that's what those on that, it's kind of like a chart. That's what those yellow lines on the chart represent. And it's the same thing down here. So I have the original recording comes in, and then this is the vintage voice. It's like how I altered my voice recording. So that one starts, and then I bring the original in, and then this one comes in high, and then it kind of takes over, and then it drops off completely, and it comes back, and then progressively goes back to quiet. But you can hear my voice throughout the whole stream, because as this one dies, these 2 come alive, and so they're all like synchronized with the time. And speaking of the synchronicity of time, the cool thing is that the sounds are almost exactly at 7. I think one was like at 7:12, 7 minutes 12 seconds, and the for my talking, and then the cello was 7 minutes 13 seconds, which was like kind of the intention, but it wasn't, again, it wasn't like scripted or like a practiced or polished speech. It just kind of like uniquely ended at the same time. And then what's also cool is that the YouTube video that I decided, since again the YouTube podcast, I thought it was audio, but no, you have to include video as well. So I went ahead and just did the latest video that I did, which is like 7 minutes and 25 seconds. So it's like just right there. There's like, I suppose, 10 seconds of like no audio for that actual post that I did, which was, let's see. So if we went to content, this was the video that I used, and it was a how to make earrings easy in 7 minutes tutorial, so 7 minutes and 34 seconds. And then I used that same video, but I muted it, and then I laced over the sound that you're listening to now. So like, for example, you can hear the cello has been playing this whole time, but now I'll stop talking, but I'll unmute my audio. This conversation that we're having. And the song in total is about 7 minutes long. And so I thought, why not go for 7 minutes of me talking and documenting this. So now you see, like, that was me talking in the last stream. And I just put that audio, I compiled all of this together, and then put it into this podcast with the wire wrapping tutorial, just as like a muted visual stimulation. Oh, and by the way, so what I did with that actually, so Jin's Treasure podcast. I put that so I took the Logic Pro audio, put it right here, and then laced it together in Final Cut Pro, which is like video editing software. So one is audio editing software, and that's Logic Pro, and then Final Cut Pro is the video editing. And then to complete it, I use OBS to make this stream possible using all of this that I'm demonstrating to you. And the cool thing about Final Cut Pro is like how the video starts is like there's like a old school 5-second countdown, and then I have the option to throw in this Jin's Treasure podcast title, and then if it will let me, just try that thumbs up. It's like another cool thing. And then some other visual effects to kind of like making different, keep the audience engaged. It's almost like hypnotic. You can see the music all live. So it's just her playing on her cello with all this, working this, all this 7 minutes. There you can really see it's just kind of like wavy lines. That's kind of what I see. Just kind of playing around with what's possible, you know. And so that's what I did. And once this was all completed, then I posted it to my YouTube channel. So now I'm gonna see if any of this stream actually worked. Stop streaming and see if this was just like directly uploaded to YouTube, or did I just waste my time talking this whole time without it ever being recorded. So I'll give you the conclusion or the next update probably after my resin tutorial video, because I just got a resin kit and it's going to be the first time that I'm playing with that. So stay tuned with Jin's Treasure to see what happens next. Thank you. Peace.